Yeah, Joy sees in the picture that it has 4 legs. And are those legs short or long? Yeah, it has 4 short legs. So we can write about its 4 short legs. Four short legs. What do you notice about its neck and its tail? What do you notice about the Apatosaurus's neck and tail? Mason, what do you notice about the Apatosaurus's neck and tail? Yeah, they're both long. He has a long neck and a long tail. And it says in the book, he was a giant plant eater. So that long neck could help him eat plants high up in trees. High up in trees. So that's how his long neck was helping him survive. So I'm going to write his long neck and his long tail. Shouldn't be any sounds. Long neck and tail. We are going to continue reading. We're going to learn about some more dinosaurs. Remember, we're thinking about the characteristics of those dinosaurs, what body parts they have, and how those body parts help them survive. Just like we did with the Apatosaurus. Good tracking from Eva. Brachiosaurus was the heaviest dinosaur of all. Some say it weighed over 100,000 pounds. Brachiosaurus had a nostril on the top of its head. It spent much of its time in swamps, eating tons of soft, mushy plants. But it laid eggs on dry land. Wow, this page told me so many different things about the Brachiosaurus. How it ate mushy plants, how it also had a nostril on top of its head, and I can see its long neck and its long tail. All of its different characteristics. Diplodocus was the longest dinosaur of all. It was 90 feet long, from its tiny head to the tip of its tail. It had a little mouth and just a few teeth. Diplodocus had to eat almost without stopping in order to fill its huge body. So 90 feet, I'm trying to think of how big 90 feet is. 90 feet is probably from this wall to the end of that wall. So that's how long the Diplodocus was. It reached all the way across the classroom. And the book told me it was so big, that was one of its characteristics, it was so big that it had to eat and eat and eat and eat and not even stop, or else it would get hungry. So one of its characteristics was how big it was.
It had 3 deadly horns.
Iguanodon was a smaller plant eater. It walked mostly on 2 legs. It had spiked thumbs and a powerful tail, Cairo. It swat its enemies. Iguanodon had hundreds of flat teeth. When one tooth wore out, another grew in its place. Ooh, this told me about the iguana's characteristics and how it helped them survive. It said that it had a powerful tail that it used to swat its enemies and protect itself. So Bates, everyone's hands need to be in star. Everyone needs to be tracking. Joy has been doing this the whole time. She's learning as much as possible. She knows the different characteristics and how they help them survive. Ankylosaurus was a duck-billed dinosaur. It was a good swimmer. Its front feet were webbed, and its bill was shaped like a duck's. It had more than 1,000 teeth to crush and grind food. So one of this dinosaur's characteristics was its 1,000 teeth, and that helped him survive because it helped him eat his food, Sophia. The Ornitholestes was a small and fierce. It was swift enough to catch birds. And remember we said swift means fast and sneaky. So it was swift enough to catch birds. You can see the one catching the bird in this picture. Ornithomus had no teeth at all. It may have eaten the eggs of other dinosaurs and fruits and insects too. Ankylosaurus was an armored dinosaur. It lived on land and it ate plants. It had plenty of protection from meat eaters who would want to bite its thick, leathery skin covered with bony armor. So that told us that this Ankylosaurus' characteristics was its thick skin. And its thick skin helped it survive because when a dinosaur tried to bite it, another dinosaur tried to bite it, it would hurt its teeth and you wouldn't be able to bite it. So that's how its characteristics helped it survive. Remember, we're going to keep thinking about the characteristics of all of the dinosaurs and how those characteristics help them survive. We saw Stegosaurus, a plated dinosaur. It had big, bony plates down its back and a dangerous spiked tail. Its brain was the size of a walnut. So everyone go like this. This is about the size of a walnut. This is how big a Stegosaurus' brain was. That's pretty small, isn't it?
Yeah.
Stegosaurus has a small brain.
Baby brain.
Okay, sounds off. Sounds off. One of its characteristics is its small brain. Hands back and start. Hands back and start. I'm going to read this page one more time. We're going to think about the Stegosaurus' characteristics and how they might help them survive merely. The Stegosaurus was a plated dinosaur. It had big, bony plates down its back and a dangerous spiked tail. Its brain was the size of a walnut. So let's think. What are some of the characteristics of a Stegosaurus? What are some of the characteristics of a Stegosaurus? Oh, I know Kadeja was paying attention. She has a tall, silent hand. She knows the characteristics. Sydney, what are some of the characteristics of a Stegosaurus? What are some of the characteristics or body parts of a Stegosaurus? Everyone's tracking Sydney.
What are those called? Nails or
Claw.
So sharp, stop.
What did the book tell us the Stegosaurus had?
What's another characteristic of this T-Rex? Track.
Can someone help out Sydney? What kind of characteristics did the Stegosaurus have? Sophia? It had plates. Does anyone else want to build on to Sophia? It had plates. What else did it have? Miralise? And it had a dangerous tail. So Sydney, what were some of the characteristics of a Stegosaurus?
What else does it have that's back? Where his legs are kind of like skinny. Oh, it's strong. To run and shake the earth. So when you run up his crossbeam,
Yeah. It had a tiny brain. Sydney said it had a tiny brain. So that's another thing that it had. Yeah, Dennis was going like this because this is how tiny the Stegosaurus' brain was. So, sounds are off. Hands back and start. So I'm going to write up here all the different things we said. Sophia told us the Stegosaurus had plates. And the plates are just these spikes on its back. You can see these plates are the spikes on its back. Those are really pointy. Miralise told us it had a dangerous tail.
why does the T-Rex have these characteristics of sharp
And then Sydney told us it had a small
and strong legs?
brain. So I'm thinking, it had all these things, but how did these things help it survive? So I read this part. It has a dangerous tail. That must mean that other animals were scared of it because it could use it to hurt other animals who attack them, Eva and Precious. So I'm gonna write, and its plates look like they're dangerous too. I don't think anyone would want to try to bite into its plates, right? And if another dinosaur tried to attack, it could use its plate and its dangerous tail to attack. So those are some of the ways that these characteristics help them survive. So like the plates protect with plates and tail. Good. Before we start reading more about the dinosaurs, I need to see everyone sitting crisscross. With calm bodies, just like Cameron, he's tracking his sounds are off. We're gonna keep reading, find out about more dinosaurs and their characteristics. A Triceratops had 3 deadly horns on its nose and 1 over each eye. A big fan-shaped bone protected its neck. My father said Triceratops could defend itself even against Tyrannosaurus Rex. I wonder who Tyrannosaurus Rex was. So what are some of the characteristics of the Triceratops? What are some of the characteristics of a Triceratops? Kaden, what are some of the characteristics or body parts of a Triceratops? What did the book tell us?
Apatosaurus has a long neck.
Okay, Kaden, I'm going to read this again. Listen closely. Think about what the book is telling us about the Triceratops characteristics or their body parts. Listen, everyone needs to be listening, thinking about their body parts or their characteristics. And Triceratops had 3 deadly horns, 1 on its nose and 1 over each eye. A big fan-shaped bone protected its neck. So, Kaden, what were some of the characteristics? Yeah, he has horns on his nose. Good. His eyes. 2 on his eyes. Yeah. So Caden told us that the Triceratops had a horn on his nose and 2 over his eyes. Who else wants to build on? What else did the Triceratops have? Cairo. So you're looking at the picture and seeing its long tail and its small feet. But what did the book say? What did the words tell us about the Triceratops?
Stegosaurus, you go.
Anomi.
This Stegosaurus has plates on its back.
3 horns and a neck bolted with 10 neck.
Yeah, so Caden and Anomi both talked about the 3 horns. And then Anomi talked about the neck bone around its neck. And Anomi, how did that neck bone help the Triceratops survive? What did you say it did? You said something about what the neck bone did. How did it help it survive?
It could defend itself. Next one, Triceratops.
Triceratops.
Or not, Yavin.
Joy, do you know? Can you help out Anomi? Yeah, exactly. It's for the dinosaur not to get hurt. How did it help it survive, Anomi? Exactly. So it had these horns and these. Hey, about the shoes. It had these horns and these neck bones to help it protect itself or not get hurt. So up here, I'm gonna write that it had 3 horns, just like Caden said. 3 horns, neck bone, and then these help it protect itself. So I'm just going to draw an arrow here and write protect itself. tracking, we're gonna learn about one more dinosaur. And I know this is a lot of friends' favorite dinosaurs. I'm excited to learn about this one.
It has these characteristics.
Sounds seeing who's tracking, just like Eva, whose sounds are off, just like Sophia. Ready to learn about this last dinosaur and all of its characteristics. I know we're excited, but we need our sounds off so we can listen and learn merely. Then I saw it. Tyrannosaurus Rex was the king of the dinosaurs and the fiercest of them all. When it walked on its huge hind legs, the earth shook. And other dinosaurs ran. But Tyrannosaurus caught them, clawed them, and ate them with its long sound, with its long, sharp teeth. Everyone show me your long, sharp teeth and your sharp claws. Back in 3, back in 2, back in 1, back in 0. Wow, you were all great T-Rexes. I think if I was another dinosaur, I would have ran from all of you. But you guys would have caught me with your claws and your sharp teeth and your long, long tail. So let's think. What characteristics did the T-Rex have? What characteristics did the T-Rex have? Oh, I know Genesis was paying attention. I see a tall, silent hand. Precious, what characteristics did the T-Rex have?
It had sharp claws and it had and the dangerous tail. But when the other dinosaurs they can run away from it, but it can catch it and it's really fast.
Yeah, exactly. Precious told us about its sharp claws and its sharp teeth and how it helped him catch its prey. Anyone else want to build on to what Precious told us? Genesis. Miriam. Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to write all of those things up here. Precious talked about its sharp teeth and its sharp claws, and Genesis agreed. That's something that we heard in the book. So I'm going to go ahead and write that here. Sharp teeth, sharp claws. So it has sharp teeth and sharp claws. Sounds are off. And a long tail. We talked about its long tail. So I thought about everyone's tracking. Mason. So I thought about the characteristics of this T-Rex, but I'm not done. There's another question. How do these characteristics of the T-Rex help the T-Rex survive? How do these things help the T-Rex survive? What did these things help the T-Rex do? Who can tell me what these things help the T-Rex do? Miralise, what did this long tail, sharp teeth, sharp claws help the T-Rex do? Yeah, they helped him eat the rest of his dinosaurs and get his food. So that's how they helped him survive. So, Bates tracking. We're sitting crisscross with our hands installed. We're about to go back to our desks. And what we're going to do at our desk is we're going to pick one of these dinosaurs, write about those dinosaurs' characteristics, and how those characteristics help the dinosaur survive. So for example, the Triceratops had 3 horns and a neck bone that helped it protect itself. So I can write all about the Triceratops, what it had, its body parts, and how those helped him protect himself. So, Cameron, when you get back to your desk, what are you going to write about? Which of these dinosaurs? Which one has a long neck? This one? So you're going to write about the Apatosaurus, Cameron. And what does he have? What does he have? Yeah, he has a long neck. Good. So Cameron's going to write about the Apatosaurus and its long neck. Mason, what are you going to write about when you go back to your desk? Which dinosaur? T-Rex, Triceratops, Stegosaurus, Apatosaurus? Apatosaurus. And what does the Apatosaurus have? What characteristics does it have? Yeah, it has a long neck. And what else? What other characteristics? Yeah, and a big body. Good. One more friend to tell me what they're going to write about when they get back to their desk. Sophia, what are you going to write back about when you get to your desk? Everyone's good. What are you going to write about the T-Rex?
I'm going to write a T-Rex that it has sharp teeth and it has 2 feet that it walks on and a long tail.
Good. So I heard a lot of great ideas that friends are going to write about when they get back to their desk. I know all the friends who didn't share also have great ideas.